everybody, Christine Pasto here with another episode of Live Work North Attleboro. And today I am at 21 Patriot Place with Neil Gouck. He is the owner of Freedom Wind, right?
Yes.
It will be opening shortly, so we're going to learn a little bit more about it. And so Neil, tell us about your project here.
Sure. This is Freedom Wind. It's an indoor skydiving facility here located at Patriot Place. We are a leisure, entertainment, experiential type business where people can come in and see what it's like to free fall and skydive.
How high is the fall?
Sure. So it's really not a fall. We blow the air up at terminal velocity. It's almost like a fountain of air, like a cushion that you fly on.
Wow.
And so as you enter the Windstream in our flight chamber, there's an instructor that's an arm's length away from you. And from the onlookers, it looks like you're floating. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And how long is each session?
Sure. So our experience is the low end starts at what it feels like to jump off Mount Everest. This is like 4 to 5 skydives, and it's a generous amount of free fall.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the business is not open yet?
No, we're still under construction. We have a planned summer opening.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah, we're excited.
So we're pretty close then, because summer's about halfway through, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of finish work happening today inside the building. We're trying to get the exterior of the building wrapped up before football season starts.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's 6 days a week and full days, and it's go, go, go.
Yep. What you can't see with us sitting here, but I'll take some video of it, is the building is pretty tall.
It sure is. So we're next to a 212-foot tall stadium. So in terms of our neighbor, we're not the biggest building in the area, but our building is 125 feet above the ground level.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
124.
So I guess you don't have any fear of heights?
No, I am afraid of heights. It's just a sudden stop at the end.
Okay. So business opening this summer, and who are you catering to?
So our target market is all like thrill seekers, people that want to go out, socialize, have a unique experience,
right?
Maybe that they have aspired to do, or anybody that's actually seen a bird and wanted to fly. And
what is the length of time that someone has for the jump or the fly?
Sure. So the Everest experience is roughly around 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes and 20 seconds of actual free fall.
Okay.
That's what it would be like if you jumped from the peak and went all the way down to sea level. We have other experiences that are called the World Record experience.
Oh, wow.
The world record currently held by a Google vice president that beat the Red Bull Stratus project.
Oh, wow.
He was in free fall for 4 minutes and 26 seconds. So if you wanted to do the world record, we could replicate that for you, and we'd give you a certificate that you broke the world record in free fall. And then after that, the packages are generally catered towards people that want to take this to the next level or make it more of an activity. The next one is a 10-minute. It's 5 2-minute sessions, and that one's got coaching. It has a video associated with it, and that's where you begin to learn how to do turns, barrel rolls, change your elevation, fly forward, backward. And so then people are really at that point starting to get into it as an activity, and we have leagues, and there's competitions all the way around the world.
There are?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's actually a real push to make this an Olympic sport.
Wow. So when the competition, what happens in a competition?
Sure. So a lot of the competition, one of the main ones is called four-way. It's when 4 people all fly, and there's a pre-prescribed group of formations that you do in sequence. It may be 4 or 5 specific shapes or handles or configurations, and you go in sequence from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and if you get through that, then you just start and you repeat again, and there's a timer, and you see how many points you can get within a certain time period.
Like synchronized swimming in the air?
Absolutely. It's very, very much like that. And then there's more of dynamic free flying, and there's artistic events too, which are just totally choreographed. Oftentimes they're put to music, and people can just show off all their different moves and positions that they can hold. So there's a lot of different disciplines.
What kind of equipment is forcing that air up?
Sure. So our main power drive system is a very large single 1,800 horsepower electric motor that drives a over 6 meter wide fan and it's just a engineering marvel. It's the only one in the country that's a single fan that has a circular cross section all the way through the circuit, and so we can't wait to fire it up and show everybody what kind of air it produces.
Are you doing any events for your grand opening?
So yeah, we have a lot of stakeholders and people that have been with us through thick and thin. So we're going to obviously do some soft launches with some of our stakeholders, and at the same time help work out our kinks and proof our SOPs and get feedback from our folks. Like, for example, we may invite our lender, Hanscom Federal Credit Union, to come in and try it out, and then have them give us feedback, and then we might bring in like subcontractors that have done work and in the afternoon and say, hey, we've got some learnings, some best practices from the morning, and we do it again in the afternoon, and so that we are able to hit the ground running on a grand opening.
That's great.
Yeah, definitely.
So you are, as I mentioned, from North Attleboro, right?
Yes. Yep. Born and raised in North Attleboro, and my wife is too. We were high school sweethearts.
That's great. And I understand you were in the military. Is that right?
Yes. Most of my adult life, I was in the military. I went to West Point, and I was an infantry officer, and I did some jumping in the military as well too. And my last assignment took me back to teach in ROTC in the Providence area.
Okay.
And so Sally and I were able to move back into our hometown, and we used that opportunity as a way to transition back into North Attleboro. Our family got much bigger over those few years, and then that was when I ended up departing the military. Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
5.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, you really did grow the family. And what ages?
They span from 19 right now all the way down to 7.
Wow, that's great. But what's something people don't know about you?
Sure. Maybe, just to share something about me, I love hobbies, and I love things that kind of take my mind. Doing a project like this and having 5 kids is crazy. So actually, like heating my house with wood is maybe something that most people don't know about me. Like, we heat with all wood, and there's some pride to that, and there's like a lot of work and physical activity that goes into it, and so it's cathartic. It's like movement, and it's purposeful, and it's just something that I like to do, and it's kind of like a hobby, and we've been doing it for a long time. So it's not without like you have to take a tree and then prepare it and then cut it and then split it and stack it, and then so it's a whole process. But maybe that's something I should share.
Yeah. So you like not just getting to the destination, but the process of getting to the destination.
For sure. Yeah, and to be honest, it's a dangerous process, and so you can't be worried about maybe what sport your kid is going to, or what is happening on a work site, or worrying about your business. You got to be careful, and you can lose fingers and stuff like that. So you're really involved in the work itself, and it's something that provides heat for the family and everything. So it's just a nice process to kind of go with, and it helps me, unwind, concentrate on a task, and do something physical. So anyway.
Yeah, it really brings you into the moment.
It sure does.
Yeah. So back to the business.
Yes.
Are you going to work with any special groups, like, you said ROTC you used to work with?
Yeah.
Will they do any kind of like fall practice and that sort of thing, or?
For sure. So when I was in college, there was a parachute team at my college, the West Point jump team. That's certainly a group that we have a lot of affinity towards, being a former Black Knight. So we want to be their home tunnel. We want them to come and train and learn all their indoor skydiving and parachute training with us. But we're also going to cater towards all the groups and activities that are looking to do something different, show their clients hospitality. We can do Cub Scout trips, we can do birthday parties, we can do corporate team building, guest speakers. We have all the amenities and function space. We have some terrific partners here with the other tenants, where there's a wide array of people's food selection, where we can help bring in catered food from different areas. This is the type of place that if your event is important and you don't want anybody not to come, then you book it at a place like this where you know you're going to get 100% response rate. Nobody's going to like pass up on this. I mean, people may not want to get shot with paintballs, and so they might say, "Hey, look, if we're doing paintballs, I might not be looking forward to the welts on that." But this is such a unique experience for people that it's one of those ones that you want like a good response rate. You want people to actually like look forward to your event and think about it and talk about it. This is the kind of place that you'd want to really book.
That's great. Yeah, I did. I used to work for Brinker International, and we did team building on high ropes courses. So.
Oh, terrific! Yeah, it is. It's a social type experiment that you all have a shared experience. Some people will call it transformative, almost like a flow experience. And all ages, all body types, everybody can fly. It's got a wide appeal for people, and our instructors go through rigorous safety training and standards. So it really is a wide appeal to a lot of different folks.
That's great. And what is there an age limit, age restriction for?
So on the age restriction, the key concern is that one is you want the child to be potty trained.
Yeah, of course.
I know that sounds like
I thought you meant like 15 and up.
Yeah,
but
I know that sounds like a no-brainer, but that's important. Their ability to be able to listen to and react to commands. I mean, when people ask me, I suggest, like, I don't know about you, but child amnesia-wise, like, I have trouble remembering things before the age of 7. So for me, and also as a parent, I'd recommend, like this is something that happens, like a bird. You fledgling, you want to push your children out of the nest. Right. This is a really good experience to help people face fears in a controlled environment. So it's totally natural for a parent to want to push the children into it. But as an instructor and as somebody that's hosting the children, you're watching the child and you want to make sure that they're opting into this. You don't want them to be uncomfortable. And so oftentimes young children, you have to be concerned that it's a decision that they're wanting to do, and that they're comfortable with it. And so our instructors are very much in tune to be watching our younger clientele to make sure their comfort level and that they can communicate with us and that they're fully understanding. And there's a part of this where you want people to be excited, and we're never gonna like pop that bubble, and we want you to be able to enjoy that experience, but we also want you to be okay with it and be able to react to it and follow commands and do it safely. So it's a careful balance. It's an exciting dream job for a lot of people.
It sounds like an awesome job.
Yeah.
So how many people, instructors and spotters or whatever,
Sure.
will be in at a time?
Yeah. So a typical group would be 12 people that go into a group for a half an hour flying block. So like maybe you and your family would be grouped with another group of people, and then we would try and rotate through groups of 12 at a time. And so they rotate. We typically will break it up into 2 separate flight sessions so that people will rotate. At the end of it, your instructor will do a demonstration, and they'll fly up and do acrobatic things and show you what people are capable of doing with more experience. But there's always 2 instructors. One's in the air with you, and that's the person who you've connected with. That's one that gave you your class. That's one that helped you don and put on all the equipment. And then there's another rotation where the instructor is running the controls of the tunnel. And there's very much an eye and hand coordination sequence between the operator running the controls, the driver, and the instructor in the wind with the student. And the instructor in the wind with the student has ultimate control and decision making, and the supportive role is the driver and takes commands off the instructor inside the tunnel. So there's always like a team aspect to that.
Great.
Yeah.
So do you start out on the floor, or do you start up high up and then walk off the cliff and don't fall?
So they will review this with the folks, and you get a chance to try it in the classroom session. But you'll stand in the door and you'll cross your arms and you kind of lean out into the wind and go and open up your body, and the instructor will be right at the door and they'll help guide your body in. And then as you enter the wind, you'll be flying right about like the door handle height.
Okay.
And then they'll begin to correct your body position so that you're flying stable, and they'll bring you out into the center of the tunnel and then let go, and then you're in it.
Wow. How high up are you when you're flying?
So we typically will keep the wind speed, and the instructor ideally will have the person flying between like a door handle height and like the top of a door.
Okay.
But our wind tunnel goes up. There's a diagonal top to the flight chamber at the top, and so the low end is at 52 feet and the high end is at 72 feet.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can go up quite a ways. As a first-time flyer, our glass is 16 feet high,
Okay.
and that's where everybody can see the flying. Above 16 feet is a diffuser, and that's made of steel. And so, you know, first-timers are typically all flying within the door height. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I can imagine it would take a little getting used to.
Yeah.
So Neil, it's been wonderful talking to you today.
For sure.
I'm going to link to your social medias
Absolutely.
and your website. If anybody wants more information or they have experience with this kind of thing and they'd love to work with you, how do they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So we're found on Facebook. We have a Freedom Wind page on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Freedom Wind, and we also our website, freedomwind.us.
Okay,
Awesome.
terrific. And so I'll link to all that, and you guys should definitely come check it out when it opens. It's going to be pretty amazing, it looks like. And I'm Christine Pasto again, and if you would like to be featured on an episode of Live Work North Attleboro, please reach out to me, and have a great day.